next thing that I'm going to show you how to do is to actually create a table on your own web page. And so a table are really helpful for presenting lots of different information, presenting different points of view. Tables can actually be used to kind of divide your page up a little bit more. But what I want to do right now is just create a simple table for you and show you how to put things inside of that table. A table starts out with a different type of tag, which is the table tag. I know that that's probably really shocking, right? And so you're going to want to open your table tag, and you're going to want to close your table tag. And then I like to hit return. You're going to be working with a lot of space inside of the tables here, inside the table tag. And so to start the table tag, what you're actually going to want to do is create the rows first. So an interesting thing about tables on HTML is that they're oriented around the rows, not the columns. So the way to create a row in a table is just writing tr, opening it and closing it. So the interesting thing about opening and closing a tr tag, it just means tr table row. And so you've just created a new row inside of this table. And so what I like to do, let's say I want to make a table with 5 rows. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, now I have a table with 5 rows. Let's see what it looks like on my HTML page. So right now it doesn't look like anything actually, right? So there's nothing there because I haven't put anything in this table yet. And I also haven't put anything inside of the rows. So here's an interesting thing about how these rows work. So within each row, I'm going to skip one. I'm going to come back to this right here. So within the second row, for example, I'm going to actually have to put columns in here, but the HTML doesn't think of them as columns, but rather it thinks of them as divisions, like little divisions inside of that row. So I put a TD tag. I open the TD tag and I close the TD tag. It just means table division, right? And so this creates a part on the table here, right? And I have 5 rows. I'm going to have 3 columns. So in order to make 3 columns, that means I need to make 3 divisions in each one of these TRs, each one of these rows. So I'm creating 3 divisions within the rows, which end up making my column. So what I can actually do is copy and paste all of these TD tags right here and go down to these rows and actually just paste them in there. And this makes my life a lot easier. Might have to do a little bit of adjusting, but that's okay. So here you go. So I finally have the outline of a table, but as you're noticing, there's still no table here, right? Because I haven't put anything in these tables yet, right? And so you have to do a lot of like visualization for how this is supposed to work, and for how this is supposed to look. So the first thing that I want to show you how to do is, like maybe we're just going to make a table that talks about, instead of having lists of my favorite place to travel, let's say that I want to have a table of me creating a grading chart for each of my favorite places to go. So what that's going to have to look like is I'm going to have to, in my columns, which again, right now we only have rows, so in my columns I'm going to make a TH, so which means like a table header. So this is in my first row, I'm making all of these TH tags. And remember I have 3 columns, and so I'm going to make for each column here, I'm going to put place, favorite thing, and then grade. I'm going to make a grade for each of the places that I've ever lived, right? So here you can actually see the table starting to form, right? A lot of interesting things about the table right now. There's not a lot of interesting things about the table right now, but I at least have the headers for each one of these tables. And you notice that for right now, those headers are just bolded, right? So let's start out with my favorite place, which I set up here was Greece, right? So we're just going to put Greece. And remember, because this is the first column, notice how it starts in here on the first column. And so if I want to go to the second column, I'm actually going to have to go down a row. Or sorry, if I'm going to have to go to the second column, then I'm just going to have to go over here and say my favorite thing about Greece is the food. Right? And the grade that I give Greece at 1 out of 10 is a 10. So you can see that it all worked out here. My place is Greece, my favorite thing is food, and the grade that I give it is a 10. Right? The second one, I can say my second favorite place is Mexico. My favorite thing about Mexico is the language. The languages, there's actually over 80 languages in Mexico, and the grade that I give Mexico is also a 10. So check it out, Mexico, the languages here, and I give it a grade of 10. Let's do Utah. So I'll just put Utah here. My favorite thing about Utah is the hiking, and I give Utah a grade of 9. And then let's do another one up here I'll do just one more, like Quebec. So we have Quebec. My favorite thing about Quebec is the poutine. If you don't know what poutine is, Google it right now. It is awesome. And I give Quebec an 8. So down here I have a little table, right? But the thing about this table is that it's really not all that interesting, right? In fact, there's no style on it. There's only some stuff. So let's figure out how I could maybe style this table. So I could just come over here to Google and I can actually just type in how to style a table in CSS. So tiling tables CSS, I actually have a W3 Schools about that. Oh, check it out. Look at an HTML table that can be greatly improved with CSS. So check this out. I can actually add borders and properties and stuff like that. So let's just actually copy and paste all of this right here over to my table. And you're going to learn about borders and stuff like that later. But I'm just going to copy and paste this over here so that I have a border, at least, on my table. Right, so now you guys have learned how to make tables. Again, just to recap a little bit, you start a table with a table tag. You form the rows first using TR, opening the TR and closing the TR. And then for the first row, you're going to put TH so that there's a heading on your table. And then for the subsequent rows, you're going to put TD, which are just little divisions inside of those rows. And you can put as many divisions as you like. Right? I put 3 for each one, so it looks like columns. In each one of the columns, I have a place, favorite thing about that place, and then a grade that I give that place. So you guys have made your first table. Good luck.